really good day, some great insights from all of the presenters, some really interesting discussions on the panels, and yeah, I mean, Andy and I summed it up at the end of the day together, and I think it was a really insightful day, great summit, looking forward to next year. So 2018 was a very good year for us. We started work on site in our development in Gloucester. We did a couple of equity crowdfunds. We raised over £1.25 million in equity on our development projects. We also got involved with a large project in London, in Kennington, in SW9, and so the projects that we're now doing have end values of around £50 million. At that time, the projects that we were doing had end values of around £15 million. So we've scaled up our business significantly, and we've also built relationships and joint venture partners with both with private equity funds and family offices, and we've also, I guess, we've worked very closely with Crowd with Us, a crowdfunding platform, to put ways in place of crowdfunding our developments, which also help our business grow. We have been working on that for a long time. I don't want to say too much about it at the moment because it's still at fairly early stages, but that's a development that I'll be talking about more during the latter half of the year. We have a number of other sites that we're currently working on in London and Kent, and those, when you put them all together, give us a fairly interesting pipeline. I would hope that by the end of the year we'll be doing developments with end values of around £100 million. The one I think that's probably more interesting is our site in Gloucester. That's a 19-unit site. It's a conversion of a school building into 7 flats and the construction of 12 new build houses. We've just started work on that site. We'll just put the drainage in. We're in the process of putting the road in, and so we're doing a site visit actually with investors next week. We'll be doing a visit on site and taking them through what we've done, what we've got planned. We'll have the contractor involved in that, and then we're going off for some drinks and some nibbles in a place in Gloucester Docks, which is opposite another development that we completed in 2013, which is the Lock Warehouse. We converted that building, a Grade 2 listed former grain warehouse, into 26 apartments with 3,000 square feet of commercial space on the ground floor. So yeah, that's exciting. We're also just coming to the end of the development we're doing in Hythe. That's a new build of 6 contemporary flats, and we'll shortly be starting work on a development that we're doing, another development in Gloucestershire, which is a development of 8 flats and 2 commercial units. The market has changed without a doubt. We see the uncertainty in the market as a buying opportunity, particularly in London. I think the acid test for us will be when we finish our development in Hythe. We're getting good levels of interest at the moment, but once we've got completed flats to sell, completed apartments to sell, the acid test will be how quickly those move. I think, as with any developer, we've thought about fallback strategies in the event that they don't sell as quickly as we would like, and so it's a question of how we restructure on the finance on them. We've got investors in that scheme, so we'll look to get our investors out as quickly as we can. But I think that market we probably will be okay on, because buyers there are mostly cash buyers. It's a pretty stable market. There's good demand for properties, but we'll see. I think there is a lot of uncertainty in the market around Brexit at the moment, particularly in London, but in other parts of the country, like Gloucestershire, things are a little more buoyant, or let's say a little less flat. I do think that once we get this uncertainty around Brexit resolved, we're likely to see a rebound. So we try to take a long-term view, and we look at opportunities to buy when the market's flat. I think you've got to be buying when others want to sell, and it's just a question of trying to balance that timing. As I said, I see a softening as a buying opportunity, and it's really a question about timing. You'll never get your timing 100% perfect. There's always a bit of guessing involved, but I think development sites take a while to come to fruition. If we take this Kennington development, for example, we won't be able to start work on it until the end of next year at the very earliest. It'll probably take 15 to 18 months to be developed. So by the time we have properties to sell, we'll be 2.5 years down the road. Things will be very different by then. It's pretty hard to imagine a situation where we won't have Brexit out of the way and we won't have that degree of certainty. And I think if we do see a post-Brexit rebound, I think we're likely because markets don't like uncertainty, then we could be in a very good position in terms of selling the properties at that point. The way I see things is that we are currently in what I would call a typical mid-cycle moment. When the property market crashed in 1989, we had a good run up until the end of the 90s. There was a bit of a wobble around about 2000, 2001, which was mainly precipitated by a bit of a wobble in the tech market in the US. And then the market took off again up to 2007. Okay, at that point we had probably what was the worst financial crisis in recent history, as I think most people would say almost as bad as the Great Depression. We've had another run up, we're having a bit of a wobble, and I think probably what will happen is as we come out of that wobble, things will just start to move up again. Visit our website, www.melthomes.co.uk. If you look for me on social media, I'm on all of the major platforms. The one I'm most active on is Instagram. Either follow me, Evan Maindonald, or Melt Homes. Also on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. How could I forget that?